Again, Ed Bates from Kilworth Chiropractic Clinic, and welcome to yet another video in our series on all about stress. So in our last video, I suggested keeping a food diary or record of everything you ate or drank over a 2-week period. Now, honestly, if you're genuinely serious about your health, this is something that is incredibly powerful and well worthwhile. So if you haven't done it yet, I would strongly advise you to do it straight away. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to go on and discuss what constitutes a healthy, balanced diet. As we mentioned in the last video, knowing what to eat can be so confusing as every week we hear conflicting information. So the secret is to keep it simple, and ultimately the only thing that matters is to find out what works for you. If you're happy with your health and you're happy with your weight, brilliant. Well, what you're doing is working, so that's okay. But the following breakdown in food recommendation as described by Dr. Thurman Fleet in his Rays of the Dawn book is probably the simplest and most easily understood description that I've come across in my almost 30 years as a chiropractor. So simply, if you were to take all the foods in the world, you could divide them into the following 4 classes. The first group are the foods that build the body, namely the builders. These are typically the proteins, which are essential. So you do need to eat them, but just not too much. And the reason why you shouldn't eat too much of them is that they are acidic, and too much of them can cause skin or joint problems. Now, examples of building foods include avocados, nuts, eggs, milk, meat, butter, cheese, and certain beans and pulses. Now, the second group of foods tear down, repair, and eliminate waste material and toxins from the body, and these are called the eliminators. And they include most fruit and vegetables. Now, typically, you should eat 3 times as many eliminators as builders. And without fail, you should have some fruit and vegetables with every single meal. The third class or group of foods are called the congesters, and these include the sweets and starches. The pastas, potatoes, cereals, bread, soft drinks, bananas, honey, etc. And their function in the body is essentially to provide energy. However, the majority of the population eat way too many and too much starch and sugar. And that is the fundamental reason why sinus problems, constipation, asthma, colds, and various digestive problems are so prevalent in our society. Not to mention obesity, of course. Now, the fourth class or group of foods is called the lubricators, and this includes all the oils, butter, and fats. So these are the 4 groups of fat, and a typically well-balanced meal should include 1 kind of food from group 1, the builders, at least 2 or 3, if not more kinds from group 2, the eliminators, and if you're still hungry, 1 kind from group 3. With regards to the lubricators, just use them as needed. Now, as you can see, this way of eating is slightly different from our norm, as most of us have a big plate of congesters or carbohydrates, a bit of protein, and minimal fruit and vegetables. Now, as Dr. Fleet pointed out, it is fine to eat congesters, but only eat them if you're still hungry, after eating the protein eliminators. Other points of note include the obvious fact that you should only eat if you are hungry. This notion that we must have X number of set meals per day is just an idea. It's not based on any substance, any facts, really. So eat when you're hungry and stop eating when you're full. I remember Dr. Daniel Amen, he was a psychologist, was he? He always used to say, eat less, live longer. Now, as I alluded to earlier on, most of our diets are also highly acidic. And one simple thing you can do is to start each day by drinking a warm glass of water with the juice of a freshly squeezed lemon in it. Now, this is very cleansing, as believe it or not, the lemon is one, if not the most alkalizing fruit when it's digested. Another important point is that water is essential. Apparently you're 76% made out of water. So, if you're not drinking enough water, that is very stressful on the body. So you need to make sure you drink enough. How much is enough? Well, 8 to 10 glasses or 2 liters per day. Now, since we're also talking about helping you adapt better to whatever stress you face, it almost goes without saying that if stress is an issue, then you should reduce any food or drink that is a stimulant. So watch the amount of caffeine and sugar you're taking in. Anyway, again, I hope that was of use, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye-bye.